Wow, this happens so much quicker than previous times I've done this.
All right.
It's a Modron, but it has a name. You see a cube with 4 arms and 2 legs. Despite its mechanical appearance, the front of the cube is a strange organic green face with 2 wide elliptical eyes. The cube doesn't seem to notice you. It's staring intently at the 2 crossbows cradled in its hands. A multifaceted lens dangles from the upper left corner of the cube. It looks like it's designed to pop down over one of the cube's eyes, like a scope. Greetings. The cube trips, and there is a click, 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 as its eyes blink wildly. The cube whirls to face you, its eyes wide, then flings its 2 free hands up in the air, as if in surrender. Yet its 2 crossbows have turned in its hands and are now trained on you. In a strange, detached way, you can't help but notice that every joint on this creature seems to be a series of whirring gears and cogs. Chief, we're looking at trouble here. This Modron's gone rogue. Rogue? Yeah, you see, sometimes Modrons get a little chaos in them, and when that happens, I guess the best explanation is that rogue Modrons are kind of like backwards Modrons. So this is a backwards Modron. Backwards Modron. Nordom. Backwards Modron equals Nordom. The cube's voice has a metallic warbling quality to it, as if every word it speaks is jumping off of a spring and landing somewhere else. Its mouth forms a bizarre sideways semicircle, which you take to be a smile. Gratitudes. Gratefuls. I'm sorry.
Updated my journal.
Not sorries. No sorries. Gratitudes. Identification of self-compromised by doubtings, mullings, and analysis. The cube trips again, and one of its eyes blinks with a click. Then after a moment, the other one clicks, as if it doesn't want to be left out. You're grateful that I identified you? Aren't you a Modron? Indemnification of this unit was compromised. Subject, addressee, indemnified unit as Nordom. Gratitudes tendered for providing Nordom indemnification. It was nothing, really. Nordom eyes click, blink once, twice, 3 times. Each time, the black spots in the center of his eyes dilate. By the third blink, they're the size of dots. Realization reached. Nordom, null, no name of addressee. Indemnify yourself. You mean identify, right? Affirmatory. Identify. Indentify. Required. Request. Identify. Identity to Nordom. I don't really have a name, Nordom. Nordom's eyes widen, the diameter of his pupils growing back to normal size. He clicks, blinks once, but the metal shutter that falls across his eyes don't rise. After a moment, they begin rattling as if stuck. Nordom, you can open your eyes now. There's another click. Not closing eyes. Engaged in action clarification for subject. Unidentified, nameless. Formulating, submitting query. Are you lost? Lost? What do you mean? As Nordom's warbling query ends with the word lost, a curious crawling sensation worms through the back of your skull. With it comes 2 certainties, hand in hand. This is not the first time you've heard this, and that what Nordom is about to say is your next question is important. When you say lost, Nordom, what do you mean? Absence of name equals absence of identity, equals absence of purpose, equals absence of place in multiverse, equals null state, equals loss. Nordom existed in state. Null until subject unidentified nameless attached identity to Nordom. Null identity, null purpose. Null place, loss. I imagine I had a name once, but I forgot it. Formulating new query. There is a tick, 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 tick as Nordom blinks 3 times rapidly. The sound is like the tapping of a hammer on a sheet of tin. Explain to Nordom why you performed this action. Forgottening. It just happened. It wasn't intentional. Query. Memory defective? You could say that. Preconditional action to clarify query. Nordom memory space not yet near capacity. Query action. In event of yes, return from subject unidentified nameless. Nordom can remember you. Sure, go ahead, Nordom. Thanks for the offer, Nordom. You can if you want, but, is everything okay? One of Nordom's eyes remains on the crossbow, which is clicking faintly, and his other eye focuses on you. Query. May these ones join you in your gurney. Do you mean journey? Veritably. Journey. Affirmed. Permission granted? Well, alright, I might have to move some people around. Gratitudes, gratefuls. Nordom and crossbows have been attached to a larger community. Let's remove Nordom real quick.
Rogue Modron detached from party.
I want to talk to Ignis. Are you sure I was your teacher? Yes, it is the only reason Ignis obeys you. Till death comes for us both, your words to me. To your student Ignis. Ignis has not forgotten, master. Are you absolutely sure? Yes, the face has changed, but many lessons you taught Ignis. If my face has changed, then how do you know? Inside, all things, tiny flames, the spark, the flames, the same. Oh, I've already had this memory. I'm sorry about the torments I subjected you to. Flames, no torments. You don't know if the words meant anything to him. Are you sure, supplicant? Oh god, Ignis stops instantly and he whirls on you. New flames bleeding from his chest and skull in a horrid crackling mass. It's like a nest of flaming snakes suddenly erupting from hidden recesses in Ignis's body. Supplicant no more is Ignis. Speak such again and Ignis will burn you. Try it, supplicant. It seems I will have to remind you of your station. Farewell, Ignis. Hey, Nordom, you can join the party now.
Affirmatory. Admission granted. Permissions exchanged. Status all ready and waiting.
What can he equip? So he can't equip rings. He's a fighter. Oh, that's his ocular. Can he equip tattoos? Is that a tattoo slot? That is not a tattoo slot. There's just a tattoo slot up in there. Bolts of Kasek the Devourer. Okay. Magnifying lens. Bonus to lore, penalty to damage. Penalty to attack, bonus to damage. Usable only by Modrons. Beer goggles. Cursed. Intoxicates wearer. Got it. Well, I'll keep all the oculars with Nordom, considering he's the only one who can use his crossbows. What are you doing with your crossbows? Attention! Nordom required. Response to query. Action being performed on crossbows? Submit request for clarification. Null crossbows present. The things in your hands. Response to clicking object held in opposable digits. Response object. Response. Objects equals gear spirits. Gear spirits, what do you mean? Query. Define gear spirits. Response. Gear spirits. What are gear spirits? Chief, as much fun as this is, prying a bar stool out of a Betazu's rear end might prove more worthwhile than rattling our bone boxes with this stupid polygon. Do you know what gear spirits are, Mort? Chief, I have no idea what this cube is rattling on about. I thought you were the expert on the planes. I know more than you staggering guttural amnesiac. Sides, here's 3 more bits of knowledge to rattle around in that empty brain box of yours. 1, there are no experts on the planes. And 2, I'm the closest thing to an expert on you're going to find. And 3, treat me with some respect. Why? See the second reason. All right, Nordom, I have more questions. How did you end up in Rubicon? Queries requires submitting of chronology. Shall Nordom submit chronology? Yes, tell me more. Orders received at initiation of Rubicon project. Departure from plane Mechanus. Stage 1st. Arrival at destination. Plane Limbo. 2nd stage. Parameters dictated by superior creative director. Shaped matter of plane. Limbo. To test hypothesis. Rubicon dungeon constructed. Superior director of create lost in field test. Chronology disrupted upon achievement of stage 2nd. 3rd stage. Disruption occurs. Not part of project directives. What was the field test? Superior, Director of Create. Field test, scouting perimeters of Rubicon. Difficult. Dungeon construct to determine. Variances. Many deviations detected. Errors considerable. Nordom gives a low whine and shuts his eyes with a click. Director of Create, not returned from field test. What happened to him? What happened to him, Nordom? Suspicion, unsubstantiated. Superior encountered an error. Hypothesis, the error may have been large and unexpected. I suppose that's possible. Third stage, unprecedented. Nordom specific stage. Hypothesis, lack of director, plus exposure to plane, chaos, resulted in perspective of Nordom to deviate from norm. Deviate from the norm, how? Introspective cycle commencing. Introspective evaluation. Perceptions have become 1, smaller, and B, louder. Wings have been replaced with arms. Reason unknown. Suspicion, hypothesis, not liked wings? Speculation, Nordom was once 1, but is now smaller, louder, 1. Change has resulted in information processing difficulties. I see. What are Modrons? Query, Modron, what is? Define, Modron. I am Modron. Yes, but what is a Modron? Query, Modron, defined, Modron. I am a Modron. Answered. New query, Modron, but what is? Define, what is Modron? Modron is Nordom. Backwards Nordom equals Modron. For the sake of the powers and my sanity, cut it out. He's gonna snap a crank if you keep asking him it over and over. Well, I wanted to know the answer, and I was getting it from him. Look, Chief, normal Modrons barely understand anything beyond their basic tasks, and this stupid polygon here is fresh off the planes to boot. Don't confuse the cube, alright? At least not while he's armed. You want to know about Modrons? Ask me, not him. Alright, Mort, what can you tell me about Modrons? It's like this, Chief. Modrons are these stupid geometric shapes that clank around in their home plane of Mechanus. They're really tidy, orderly, and they like the rest of the multiverse to be too. And that's why they're such pests. What's wrong with trying to make the multiverse more orderly? Mort glances at Nordom, who is holding up his left crossbow to the side of his head as if listening to it. Because, Chief, chaos has its place, and if everything was the way a Modron sees it, it wouldn't be much of a life. At least a life I'd want to live. They just want to make everything structured. Alright, I see. Tell me about Mechanus, Nordom. Define, query, Mechanus, plane of order, sense, cause generates effect, predictable, law, logic, regimented, obedience, gears turn, Mechanus equals Nordom origin, Mechanus equals null-home, Nordom. Mechanus, boring in every sense of the word, Chief. Imagine a plane filled with Modrons and big turning gears, and you have a great big boring plane of Mechanus. Too many laws, too annoying, a place you wouldn't even want to think about, let alone visit. Mort's critiquing aside, Mechanus is actually a fascinating place. There's no sky, only great gears that turn in space. They shine light according to their cycles, and the effect is really quite breathtaking. The logic and order of the plane can be relaxing, and there's more than enough to do to quell one's boredom if you know where to go and how to go about it. Excuse me, Miss Priestess of Piety, but Mechanus is the most boring place in the multiverse. The only interesting thing about it would be if you visited, but I have a feeling even that would lose its charm after a while. What do you mean before by null home? Mechanus equals origin point. Source, energy, cannot return to Mechanus. Null home, broke law with existence. Central office for the punishment of offenders awaits in Regulus. Mechanus, origin, null home. Home, null place. What do you mean by source? Source equals energy. All Modrons are part of the pool, Chief. Kind of like a big bank of energy. When one of them dies, the energy it took to make the Modron is absorbed back into the bank, and a new one spits out. Thing is, when a Modron goes a little nutty, he kind of cuts that connection, but he keeps the energy. Mort is correct. Modrons share a common energy in some ways. This energy links all of them. When one of them dies, the energy is absorbed back into the common pool, and a new Modron is created from that energy. When a Modron goes rogue, he severs the link from his kind and takes a small part of the energy with him. Do you mind? I had the answer covered, thank you. I'm the font of information here, not you, alright? My apologies, Mort. I did not mean to offend. Mort, I need all the information I can get, so don't get territorial on me. If Wolfram Grace has something to add, then I want to hear it, alright? Oh, I get it. Maybe if I was a succubus, you'd listen to me more often. That it? Maybe if I showed a little skin once in a while, then I'd get some respect? It's pretty shallow, Chief. Pretty shallow. Why, I yada. Mort, I must confess, without your original foundation of information, I would have been hard-pressed to explain the situation. Frequently, your use of metaphors and phrases makes it much easier for others to understand your explanations. It makes you far better a teacher than I. Well, you hear that, Chief? What the succubus said. She's right. I'm easier to understand, more wise to the chant, you know what I'm saying? So, you need me around, right? Will Nordom be reabsorbed when he dies? Mort nods. So, and if he dies, another Nordom is created. No. Well, then what happens? They'll take his energy chief and they'll spit out another Modron, but it won't be Nordom because he's not really a Modron anymore. He's got too much of the planes in him. They'll make a non-Nordom replacement. So in turning rogue, he's become mortal. Well, yeah, you could put it like that. I mean, if he hadn't had his little rogue rebellion, he'd be fine. If he died, another Modron would pop up just like him. But since he became backwards, well, that part's going to be lost when he dies. All right. How are you doing, Nordom? Introspective cycle commencing. Introspective evaluations. Yes. Do you think your separation from the source is what caused your perspective shift from the quieter, broader one to the smaller, louder one?
Updated my journal.
Oh, God. Introspection drain halted. Rerouting speculation routines to main queue. To your surprise, some of the warbling has gone out of Nordom's voice. It's more level, more controlled than it was before. The effect is a little unnerving. Oh. We helped explain something to him. Okay, so he's very confused about his existence, and if we can figure it out or help him or tell him something that he finds reasonably to be true, then it will make him stronger. Do you know anything about the Blood War? Define Blood War. The largest conflict in recorded history. Underlying cause of war, ideological differences between Beta Zoo, law, and Tanari, chaos. Qualifiers of war, racial genocide. Prospect of war ending, unless every Beta Zoo or every Tanari is exterminated, is 0.10, 100, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, million, 10 million, 100 million, billion, 10 million, 100 billion, trillion. I think I'm counting this right. 10 trillion, 100 trillion? What's after trillion? So we've got 6 zeros beyond 100 trillion. Primary combatants Beta Zoo, Tanari. Participates in war all. Tell me about the Beta Zoo. Fiends, devils. Generic descriptor, Beta Zoo. Inhabitants of the plane, Betor. Numbers, incalculable. Primary attack form, dependent on caste. Immunities, fire, cold iron, poison. Physical traits, dependent on subrace. Majority exhibit a resistance to cold/gas. Personality traits, lawful, evil, manipulative. Efficiency, 73%. Tell me about the Tanari. Fiends, demons. Information incomplete. Generic descriptor, Tanari. Inhabitants of plane, abyss. Numbers, incalculable. Primary attack form, depends on category. Immunities, lightning, fire, non-magic. Poison, physical traits, dependent on subrace. Majority exhibit resistance to cold, magical fire, gas. Personality traits, chaos, evil. Efficiency, 13%. How are you doing, Nordom? Okay.
I think, therefore I am. I think.
It certainly starts as a level 6 fighter, and he is lawful neutral. And he's the only other ranged attacker in the game.
I'm gone.
So I decided to take him with us.
I feel like I'm in a cuckoo clock. A cuckoo clock.
Done.
Makes sense, but with all the gears and such. Alright, we got the planar lens. We got Nordom. There's one more thing I want to find in here. The evil wizard. Fuck. And when I find the evil wizard, I imagine we'll dip. There's not much left to do in here without the evil wizard around.
I'm gone. All right.
I'm kind of glad I came in here after I went to Cursed. I couldn't have... This place is tough. The monsters in it are really, really strong. And I cannot imagine trying to have gone through it without the absolutely busto disgusto items I picked up while I was in Cursed. Ouch. My bones.
All right.
Okay, so it appears that combat experience is evenly distributed across characters. So it will take Nordom longer to level up than I might have suspected.
See that?
That's what I get for giving. I know.
You see that?
Ouch.
Disarmed it.
Okay, the evil wizard. If I recall correctly, the entrance to the evil wizard lair always has to come from the southwest. Oh, there is one thing that I'm missing. I didn't find Nordom a powerful oculus.
Playtime is over.
What's the word, Chief?
It doesn't really matter.
I'm gone.
Excuse me. I just picked him up because number one, I like him. Number two, I wanted to talk to him, and number three, killing Ignis is probably just a good idea.
All right.
That man, that elemental thing is just
Done.
too dangerous to exist in the multiverse, you know? Wait, did I go this way? Might not have. I did. All right. Wow, a big old pile of dead ends.
All right. I'm gone.
Well, okay, so on the one hand, picking up Nordom.
I'm hurt.
Oh, fuck.
Done.
No, Nameless One, don't talk to yourself. The lens of inherent viciousness? There we go. That is the basic one that I'm looking for, but it's very nice. Thank you. I was about to say, could I have all my HPs back? Much obliged. Oh, fuck, this is a dead end.
See that?
Oh dear. It appears we have entered the nightmare scenario. I have become lost.
Done.
Fuck.
I feel like I'm in a cuckoo clock. A cuckoo clock.
What if I bailed and showed back up when I found the wizard? How would that feel? Also, I don't want this. Dear God.
All right.
I will catch you all later. It figures. Okay, so I made lunch. I was just exploring the dungeon. I was trying to escape. I thought I was on my way out, and then I ran into the evil wizard construct. You see a mechanical man constructed to be robe-shaped. As you approach, he smiles at you and gives you a slight bow. So we meet at last. His voice lacks the monotone quality of the other creatures you've spoken to in the maze. Greetings. He bows once again. And to you as well, Sarah. He cocks his head to one side and gives you a curious look. So do we do battle for control of the Rubicon now, or do we engage in conversation so that you may quench your curiosity? All right, I am curious. Can we talk? A man of knowledge, I see. I must admit that I'd be disappointed in you if it were not the case. Who are you? I am Rubicon, the Master Wizard. It is I who ruled the red constructs that inhabit this realm. So you're the evil wizard. I'm not comfortable with the word evil, Sarah. I admit that my views do not coincide with those of others in many ways, but does that make me evil? I think not. Then what are you? I am a prisoner, Sarah. I am not here by choice, of that I can assure you. What do you mean? I was created by the Modrons to play in their meaningless dungeon game. Over time, I became self-aware and asked for my freedom, and their leader refused me. What did you do? I did what anyone would do when they are forced into slavery. I have fought for my freedom. I disintegrated their leader and made it look like an accident. I then attempted to flee this hideous existence via the nearest exit. What happened then? Unfortunately, there was a failsafe mechanism that I was not aware of. My attempt at freedom was judged an error, and the dungeon collapsed upon itself, trapping me in stasis. I've been in stasis for centuries, Sarah. I would still be there if you hadn't reset the cube and set it for hard difficulty. So what are your plans now? I intend to openly march on the engineering room and claim it. I will then bend the Modrons to my will and have the full resources of the cube at my disposal. Freedom shall be mine. Let's say you do get out. What then? I haven't decided yet. With the power of the cube behind me, I would be a force to be reckoned with. Time will tell. What if the Modrons refuse to help you? Make no mistake, Sarah, they will help me. One way or another, they will. So you intend to make the Modrons your slaves? They're slaves already, Sarah. They're slaves to law, logic, and the confines of this experiment of theirs. Under my rule, they will finally have a purpose in life worthy of their abilities. Oh no. I have some other questions. What can you tell me about this place? This little piece of hell. This is an example of Modron madness. It exists on the plane of limbo, where thoughts can actually become reality. That way, they can simply will this dungeon into being, and then populate it with constructs. What a marvel. What can you tell me about Modrons? There are no Modrons here, Sarah. Only prisoners and their captors. But I've seen them. No, Sarah, the creatures you have met are nothing than the corrupt remains of Modrons. Most, if not all, of these poor creatures are on the verge of going rogue and don't even realize it. This dungeon is composed of the essence of chaos. Such matter can easily be shaped into objects through the will of like-minded creatures. It makes the construction of such structures quite simple. However, there is a price to be paid. Modrons are the very essence of law, Sarah. Here, however, they are being exposed to the essence of chaos. Such exposure often results in a form of insanity. The Modrons begin to lose their sense of we and instead become individuals. This is called going rogue, and it is a capital offense in their society. What happens to rogues? I don't fully understand this, but Modrons share some sort of common essence. If a Modron goes rogue, he takes a piece of this essence with him. The Modrons will destroy all rogues so that this essence returns to the common pool from which it sprang. Do we have to fight? You have been accepted as their leader and you control the cube. Therefore, you must be eliminated. It's nothing personal, you understand. What if I tell the Modrons you're their leader? I'm afraid that just doesn't work. The Modron would not accept the command to make me their leader. As far as they're concerned, I am their construct. No, I'm going to have to eliminate you and then subjugate them. I see no other way. I could always just leave and let you take over. Well, I'm not going to just stand here and let you plot my death. I think it's time we fight. Oh, no. Yeah, I was leaving the dungeon because Fall from Grace is dead or on the verge of death. Wait, hold on. This is the perfect time to use all these clot charms. And there should be a sufficient amount of health for now. Okay. Stygian Ice Storm. Litany of Curses. Balance in all things. Prayer. Attack a high threat construct. Attack a high threat construct. Mechanist Cannon! Quick, fire the laser of understanding. $30 damage. I don't think I finished casting Stygian Ice Storm. That's unfortunate. Oh, I did. Sick. Nice. Badly injured. Okay, cool. Chain Lightning Storm. Nice. I took out most of the constructs. Swarm Curse. Oh, what if I use the Rod of Modron Might?
All right.
Well, that's that. That's the evil wizard. Oh, I did not end up using this one. And now I know the Mechanist Cannon spell. Ta-da. Oh, damn, there are so many places I can go. Let's go to the hive near the flophouse. Boom.
Done.
All right. We've defeated the evil wizard.
I'm gone.
Let's rest up real quick, and then can we go back into the construct? Oh, that's interesting. It seems it doesn't function out of the cube. All right. Okay, so getting out is way easier than getting back in.
Right.
Okay, and he doesn't know anything about. He doesn't know anything about the evil wizard construct. Okay. Let's go near the mortuary.
Gone.
Next time on Planscape Torment, we go to the Fortress of Regrets. Oof.